If you're new here, you might not know that for the first 2 years that we owned Seabird, we lived on the boat, and it was a totally different experience. Progress was slow, and probably it wasn't the healthiest environment to live in. But at some point we realized that there will be a lot of jobs that we could not do whilst living on board. And thankfully someone offered us a place to stay, which we are very grateful for. But that meant that we had to undo a lot of the jobs that we had done on the boat to make it livable. Like taking off the electrics, the solar panel, the galley, like the cooker, the fridge, which meant that we also wasted some time. First installing everything and then having to take it off the boat. But if we did it again, probably the best thing would have been buying a cheap camper and never move straight on board. But we can't change that now. So leaving the boat has allowed us to work on all those messy jobs. But it's come the day and we have established and marked a day on the calendar to move back on board, which means all the painting, sanding, epoxying, or at least the biggest one of those need to be done before we move on board, at least on the inside. And for all that to happen, the first thing we need to do is get the engine in. To get the engine in, there is some epoxying and painting that needs to be done, and at the moment the weather is stopping us from doing that, because either it's too cold or it rains and the leaks go straight into the area where we're working. So yesterday it rained a lot, like a lot.
So much.
So much that we decided to take the day off and have a cozy day indoors. Stuart made some pancakes, we watched some films, and it's the first morning back on the boat, and we're gonna check out if taping that Genoa track that you saw us doing last week has made any difference and if we have any water inside. So there'll be some water because there's other leaks, but the most important one is to check if my stanchion bases are leaking or not. So I'm a bit nervous, but we'll see how it is. As always with boats, to do one job you need to do one first, and then you need to do the other one first. So if that first one you get stuck on, the whole chain gets stuck. So let's see if we can unstuck ourselves. Okay.
The short answer to that is it's not the Genoa track that's leaking.
Oh. It's not good news.
I had about 8 litres of water on the last big rain. Where's the bloody water coming from?
I don't know, but I'm just...
Well, nothing we can do about it now, apart from dry out the bilge.
So this is the proof. We had a comment, I don't know when, a few weeks back maybe, saying, oh, stop talking about the weather, you're working inside. Well, here's the proof that this is the main area we need to work on right now, because we want that engine in so we can rebuild the galley and the saloon. We can't rebuild anything until the engine goes in, and we can't put the engine in until we finish fiberglass in these and painting all these. And if we have water coming in, which we have right now every few days, we can't do it. And yeah,
That's alright. We'll figure it out. We always do.
if the leaks come from the stanchion bases, which it looks like that's what's happening, they need fixing. If they need fixing, it means we need to sand fiberglass outside. But if it keeps raining every 2 days, we can't. So this is the place we're at right now, stuck.
And the rain will stop in the spring.
It's just, yeah, I don't think last year we had so much rain. So we always say we're not the fastest workers, but we don't make excuses. Like if we can't do something, it's because we can't do it. And I know there's a lot of things that we can't do in the rest of the boat, but they're not as important as this one. This is what's like getting us stuck. We need to move back on board. There's a date now. The good news is that before the rain came, Stuart started sanding the engine bed and it's looking good.
Yeah, you can pretty much rub your hand around most of it. I did wipe it all down.
First job of the day is dry out the boat.
Classic. At least it only leaks when it rains.
Yeah, which is very often at the moment.
Oh God, it's not that often. We get 300 days of sunshine here.
That is definitely the most amount of water we've ever taken out the boat. And it's also freezing. My hands are freezing cold. And there is still more water.
Excuse the noise, that's Marina outside sanding the stanchion bases. Might as well try and make a little bit of hay whilst the sun shines. I'm in the anchor locker, as you can tell. The name of the game is fill the hole with foam. I know it's watertight because there was a puddle in there this morning from the rain. This is why I'm pushing to get this job done. So need to roughly measure where I want the hole. From there, fill it with foam and put a board on it. Hopefully tomorrow I can fiberglass that in. Oh, I'm not gonna lie, that sanding's pretty annoying, but it is what it is. Okay. Yeah, the thing that I like with this board, it's fiberglass, it's foam covered in fiberglass, high density foam, covered with fiberglass and peel ply. Found it in the bin. I'm happy with the gaps because when I put the foam in, the foam has to go somewhere. So I suppose not really a huge amount left to do apart from get the foam, mix it up and pour it in. The only other concern I have is where I'm going to attach the bitter end, and what I'm thinking, because normally what I do is just have a few pieces, a bit of lashing of some thin rope. So what I might do on this, because the bulkhead's double thick, I might just screw in a stainless eye, but with the thread, with the screw, not a bolt. Screw that in. And then just have the tail, the bitter end of the chain, lashed up with a few bits of like 3mm, you know. So I find it's easier to cut. We've normally got a little knife stashed in the anchor locker anyway, just in case it all goes horribly wrong. and I've just been thinking about where to put the bitter end, and normally there's rope, but we've got all chain. I always prefer all chain. We've got 70 meters, so hopefully that should be enough. Call me overcautious, but I'd rather have more chain than less.
I am taking a little break from sanding my stanchion bases,
Yeah.
which I'll let you know, but I don't think they're leaking. After sanding, I just don't see where they will be leaking from, but I'll show you in a minute. I'm just checking how Stuart's work is going. He's gonna mix some foam. Oh, my face hurts. Don't like wearing that mask.
Cool. I like the smell of this one.
Oh no, it smells toxic to me.
All of this stuff we use is toxic.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing no toxic jobs.
Yeah, well, we will see if you do all these toxic jobs, once you get the sea air in you, you know, when you're out there sailing the high seas and what have you, it basically counteracts. It's like working in an office for a couple of years in the inner city.
The last bit of foam. There it is. It's supposed to go 3 times bigger and it needs to go up to the line. I think it will make it.
Yeah, do you?
Yeah. Put the board in.
No.
Go on.
That's the back. Out of sight, out of mind.
So we just need a weight.
Yeah, why don't you just stand here holding it, my love? Makes
Yeah,
yourself
for
useful.
hours.
It just makes yourself useful. Oh, jeez. We got given these zinc blocks. They're not light. They're heavier than a rock.
Well, we really borrowed them, but then...
Then he sold his boat and he was like, well, you can just keep them.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, they've got to be, what, 25 kilos each?
No way. There's no way I can grab 25 kilos like that.
That'll be interesting. They're definitely more than 3 kilos, which is our scales. I'm going to take one home.
Where you take it? I'm not taking nothing home. We went, had a little chat with a friend. We're back. The next Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
It's definitely expanded well this time.
Where's the board though?
But under it. Under that zinc block. It hasn't, it's still a little...
Ooh!
You know.
So maybe we should shave some of it now.
Right.
What do you think?
Yeah, get us a pair of gloves and a spatula.
It's a shame because it's a bit of a waste, but it's good because it means it made it all the way up.
Oh man, I'm dropping it. Oh, it's so sticky.
While Stuart digs out that foam, I'm going to show you the stanchion bases and how I think they are not leaking. So I've been sanding all these, and looking close you can see some tiny holes, but they are holes that are on the fairing, not on the fiberglass, and they have just opened now because I've sanded off the filler that was on top of them, so they were sealed. And still, it's just, as I say, it's just the fairing, like that. like this. This is just holes on the fairing, but there is fiberglass here. It's like the edge of the here's like the edge of the fiberglass, but there is many layers under that. It is really solid, and it just doesn't seem like it'll be leaking from there. I mean, I'll keep sanding, and also this side I haven't sanded the top with the big sander, and I'll keep looking at it, but I really don't think so. So I don't know.
Yeah, we got rid of most of the over-expanded foam.
Oh, thanks.
I like the smell. It's nice.
Nice.
Looks like tomorrow I'll sand that. If it's been half an hour and it's already starting to go like foamy, dusty, then tomorrow I should be able to sand and laminate that.
Stuart is getting the anchor locker ready to fiberglass now that the bottom is sorted, and I am still sanding my stanchion bases. I am doing this edge on the tow rail, and it's all looking pretty good. As you can see, I've sanded a lot off. It's still good. I don't see where water could be coming in. And now I'm enjoying doing this because it's nice to see them sanded. So I might do a few a day and get them all sanded ready to work on them as soon as the weather gets better. One of our viewers sent like a goodie box with a lot of useful little bits, and one of them was this little head for the multi-tool. And it's the first time I'm using it, and I love it. I used to always use the bigger triangle for the sides, and it was too big, but this is perfect. Always makes the job nicer when you have the right tool for the job. So I'm gonna finish this run. At least all this section will be sanded. But yeah, don't see what is coming in. I'll check those out next and see if the problem is there. We'll see. Oh. Stuart's got all the fiberglass ready to go in the anchor locker. Ah, it's good, that job is going to be finished today.
Well, apart from drilling the hole, at least it rains tonight and it can fill up with water. No, it's we've got a little leak from the windlass. It's not a big leak, but it's an annoying leak. Like a sponge the other day, a sponge worth, and it's just that windlass. It's a terrible design. I mean, no disrespect to the manufacturer. There's obviously a reason why they did it, but the old Seahawk that we had last time, Seawolf, it was just a better, not better, but it just didn't have that problem. Anyway, you're probably going to cut all this one up.
Yes.
It's just me chatting mainly to you, but you don't even want to talk to me anymore. I'll probably do. It's only a bit of fiberglass work. Why are you still recording?
I don't know. Thank you, Alex, for the caps.
New cups?
New caps. You want the stick?
No, you put the ends on again.
Done?
Yeah, I think so. It is just an anchor locker, so yeah, I'm sure it will be fine until it gets covered in seaweed and stinky water.
Show us.
I put some 800 on the bulkhead. Then I did 2 layers of biax here, and then just 1 single layer of biax along the spine. Not really for structural purposes, Mainly just so when we paint, it's like just easier to maintain. It's nice and smooth. We'll put some paint on there so when we need to take the anchor out and clean the chain locker, it's just nicer to clean.
We've got a rain simulator and we're gonna see if we can track this lake. So we're gonna start in this area. So far I don't see anything. I can hear the water. It does sound like if it was raining. It does look like rain. So he's moved back now. And he's dry. No! So it doesn't seem to be here. We're gonna try this corner here because it's very bad. And maybe somehow it's going down the side from there. Nothing, no luck. Also, after that big rain 2 days ago, some of the areas are not dry yet. So we can't really tell if water is coming in or not because they're not properly dry. And it's not an area that is easy to dry. So might do this again. Give it time to dry and do it again. But I can't see where. And it's very annoying. So, no luck finding the source of all those leaks, but that is a problem we don't have to worry about right now. Because the dry weather is back, the sun has come back, and we've got like a whole week of dry weather. Whilst you were all not looking, we've been working outside, fiberglass in this area for the P-bracket. So as you can see now, it's a flat surface and we've gained some thickness. So now we just have to work on tweaking, basically. We need to try the P-bracket with the shaft aligned again and see how far we are. But here from the side, you can see that now is a strong, straight surface to work from. There was a lot of cracks and bumps and that is now good. We'll still need to work on the surrounding area, but where the P-bracket's going is almost ready to go. So yeah, thanks to the warm, well not super warm actually, it's quite fresh, but the sun and the dry weather, we've been able to make some progress over here. And there is also been some progress on the engine bed. We are very impressed with all your comments saying that it's definitely overkill, it's gonna be way too strong and it didn't need to be like that, but we'd rather be over cautious than the opposite. And we're just replicating what was there, so I don't think it's overkill at all. I think it's just good. And you were saying that it was overkill as it was when we said it was all done, but we've added more fiberglass, so now it must be overkill. But now it's finally done. That is it for fiberglass in the engine bed. All it needs now is sanding and then it's ready. As you can see, there is a lot of filler on top of all the fiberglass we added. We added some here on the insides, also on the corners. And same on the sides, we made a bit longer strips towards the hole like that, and the corners. So yeah, that's it, done. Sanding, painting, and we can bring the engine. Oh, you've got a new belt.
Yeah. Yeah, the other one was pretty chunky. That one should hopefully do.
Stuart did all the filling late at night. He finished at like, what time did you finish? 1?
Only about midnight.
Midnight.
Just painting it on. but hopefully tomorrow should be ready to sand. So that's tomorrow's job.
And what are we doing today? We're gonna be working here. I'm gonna put a big piece of wood so the fuel tank sits on something, because right now it doesn't. So as you've probably previously seen, Stuart made this block of wood with a chunk of Iroko and some marine plywood, because that was the height we needed, and it turned out that using those two bits of wood worked out good.
It's a winning combination.
Yeah. So we're gonna be gluing and tabbing that on the bilge for the tank to sit on. We'll probably put a layer of some foam on top, just so it's soft and the tank sits on something soft. So yeah, that's the plan today.
Yep.
Hopefully. The surface of our bilge is not perfectly straight. It is a little bit bumpy, so...
Like the surface of Mars.
So the piece of wood doesn't sit perfectly, which means, as you can see, there is a little piece of wood under that. We need to put more filler under this area for it to sit where we need it. So this is just a quick test before we stick it on. We're gonna put the tank in and see how it sits. That looks all right. There is no movement. Before, without the block of wood, you would push one corner and it will lift the other side, and
like a paving slab.
yeah, it wasn't good. Now it feels solid in there. And we'll be adding some foam on the sides so the tank doesn't sit directly on the hole and it's all soft and padded.
And I'm just trying to see how level the tank is, because we've got to fit a piece of wood across, so if there's more of a gap one side than the other, we'll have to address it. It's got to sit as parallel to the floor as possible. That gives us 4.2
4.2
3.6. So what's that? That is 6 mil out. It's annoying. That looks a bit better. Four. Yep, 4. Sweet.
So it just needs to go closer to that one.
Yeah, nearest, damn it.
So this long piece of wood we need to cut to size to be placed over the tank. First is kind of a way to keep the tank snug in there, and second, this floorboard needs another support, because right now,
yeah, here and here, so we'll put 2 supports in. I'll keep that up. Take that one as well.
so you need to draw the new...
Yeah.
It's a mix of filler and little fiberglass fibers, and at some point Stuart ran out of filler, So half of it is brown and the other half is not.
So it's dog's fur. It's either going to be a total hash up or not. Okay.
Ready?
Yeah, it'll be like that.
Following the line, how's your line?
Yeah, well, my line is like it. Okay.
There.
Let's see.
But he needs to go this way. Now it just needs to dry. So we've tapped both sides so that the wood stays in place, and it's all sealed underneath with the fillets. And yeah,
Hopefully.
if there's any water in the bilge, it can always run around back down to that deep area of the bilge. So it should be okay, and it's a boat, so it's constantly rocking fore and aft and starboard and port, so any water that would get stuck anywhere, it will always end up running down that way. So yeah, we'll see. We put peel ply on the top because we're gonna glue a piece of foam, and if we put peel ply then we don't need to sand it. It will be rough enough for the glue and the foam to bond. Next job is working around the P-bracket area on the inside, because if you can see the new P-bracket, the holes go straight like this, whilst on the old P-bracket the holes were going on the same angle here towards the middle. So we're gonna pack it up on the inside to make the surface straight instead of on a V, and then we can put the bolts straight through because they sit better like that. They're made to go straight. So instead of going down like that, we're gonna make these flat so that the bolts go straight like that instead of going like that.
Which way are they going to go, honey?
Like that.
Instead of what?
Instead of going like that and like that. You know what I mean? I am sure that this way we're flattening the P-bracket area is going to create some debate, because probably it was angled for a reason, and it was to counteract the movement of the P-bracket side to side. But the new design is different and it will sit better if it's flat. The company who made the new P-bracket is a well-known company for doing this, so we trust the design. And there is also going to be a big backing plate inside, so it's going to be strong, hopefully. And yeah, that's it for the week. So I'm going to just leave you with this clip. Beautiful time lapse of Stuart sanding our beautiful engine bed. Sorry we are not here personally to say goodbye, but I am currently editing this same Friday. It is 1:30 in the afternoon and Stuart is working on the boat. But yeah, thank you so much for coming every Friday and joining us for this crazy adventure. And thank you for all your support. A special thank you this week for John. Thank you so much for sending us that battery. Every time we start our engine, we'll think of you. And thank you to everyone supporting through Coffee, PayPal, to all the super thanks and all the comments, and especially to our patrons. Thank you so much, because we wouldn't have made it this far without you. So thank you, and if you enjoyed it, please give it a like, thumbs up, and yeah, let us know what you think on the comments. will be reading you tonight, live. Anyway, thank you. See you next week and have a lovely week, you all. Bye.